Welcome everyone to HFN. Today is December the 16th, 2019, where we trade different and we are your trusted source of news according to the price chart. This is your first time watching our video and you appreciate the content, hit that subscribe button, like and share the video, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website at HueFinancial.com in order to determine where the cryptocurrency space is likely to go. And on today's video, we are going to talk about, can Bitcoin really hit $100,000? There has been numerous articles, videos, people who have been speaking on Bitcoin hitting $100,000. And there was an article that came out about the 12th of December from the Daily Hodl. We're going to talk about it. And then we're going to look at the price chart for Bitcoin to see where price is likely to go over the next couple of days and give you an update from my previous forecast for Bitcoin. Okay, so let's just buckle up. Let's get started. We're going to start off with this particular article right here on the right side of your screen with the title, "If Bitcoin is going to $100,000, where are the new buyers? Crypto analyst tackles Bitcoin's big conundrum." Data analysts and crypto influencers all around are split on how Bitcoin's halving coming up in 2020, if it's really going to impact the price. This Bitcoin halving that is going to happen in 2020 is going to reduce the creation of Bitcoin that is going to be mined and also cut the reward for miners who earn Bitcoin for placing in all those hash functions in order to mine the Bitcoin. So literally, we will see some miners shut down once this reduction in Bitcoin occurs in 2020. Now, there are some prognosticators who are shooting for a target of $100,000 and beyond for each individual Bitcoin by 2021. You get people talking about 2022 and even 2023. AVB, right here on this Twitter handle, is going with the notion that the Bitcoin halving in 2020 is going to be priced in a year after it occurs. And that's when the price is going to hit $250,000. There is one crypto influencer by the name of Nicholas Merton, go by the name also known as Data Dash. He tries to answer the question, if Bitcoin is going to go to $100,000, then why is not the market buying Bitcoin at these cheap prices? Why not are people rushing in, buying up Bitcoin, trading at $7,200, trading at $7,000? Well, here are his reasonings as to why. He gives two of them. And I quote, "This is a very reasonable expectation. Some people will say, Nick, how can you be so confident about that when this is public knowledge? If everyone's anticipating it's going to $100,000, then why aren't people buying it?" So he goes on to try to answer that question. And I quote, "It's a very fair question, which I don't think many people have done a good job of answering." So he's going to try to see if he can do a better job of answering that question. So I'm going to do that now. There's two reasons for this. The first one is that not everyone is in the crypto sphere. I think that there's something that's very imperative for us to understand, and that is that we tend to be in a bubble sometimes when it comes to the crypto space. We think because of how great Bitcoin is and how much we talk about it and how much we spend time on it, and you may even be invested in Bitcoin yourself or considering investing because you like it so much. Well, we're a small minority of people across the world. We're a very small group, a global community that shares the same passion. So all of that simply saying that the market share of Bitcoin is small. That's all he's literally saying. So he said all those words just to say that only a small market is involved in Bitcoin, which is understandable. And this is the notion that I'm going to tell you. We need to see mass adoption. Period. If Bitcoin and any other altcoin in the market fails to grab attention to mass adoption, these cryptocurrencies will go lower, period. Now, I am a very strong advocate of cryptocurrencies across the board. I'm expecting that this particular industry will see massive gains, but that's the only thing that the market is dependent on. As long as people have trust in fiat currencies, Bitcoin will not be hitting $100,000. As long as the financial economy does not crash, Bitcoin will not go to $100,000. As long as there's no depression, no recession, major recession, Bitcoin will not go to $100,000. Many people have spoken into existence the notion of Bitcoin going to $100,000. That is the same thing as people saying that Bitcoin could go to $0 like Peter Schiff. Understand, when you speak things into existence, i.e., as many of these crypto influencers, Tim Draper, Max Kaiser, Nicholas Merton, all these individuals are speaking up Bitcoin. They're expecting this price to go to astronomical numbers. Even John McAfee, he's looking for Bitcoin to go $1 million per coin. So the expectation has been set by these individuals, and you begin to expect that number to come. That's why we don't give you those asinine prices, because it's not feasible. The expectation is not being seen. We will have to see something so dramatic to push these altcoins to those prices. We barely got $20,000 in Bitcoin 2 years ago. And that was just due to mass euphoria. That has passed. Now we are entering the stage to where we will need to see true utilization of these cryptocurrencies, even Bitcoin. So we need to say thank you to everyone who has tweeted, who has done articles, who has done videos speaking up Bitcoin to $100,000, who had spoken up Bitcoin on this halving that we're going to see huge prices to come. That's why people are not grasping, well, if Bitcoin is going to go to $100,000, why are not people buying it at $7,000? Well, that's the reason. The market is lopsided. It has spruced up the notion that Bitcoin is going to hit $250,000, $100,000, $1 million a coin. But we just don't see the infrastructure that can instill that push in Bitcoin to push it higher. And do not get it twisted. The market simply moves on supply and demand, period. And the market doesn't buy on high prices. So the longer that Bitcoin treads lower at these particular numbers and not up there to the tens, to the hundreds of $1,000s per coin, to me, that's better, because you want to buy cheap. You don't want to buy Bitcoin or any other altcoin when it's extremely high. So this is the prime opportunity to see what the market is doing in regards to the volume and where Bitcoin is being traded. If we see high volume coming into the market around $6,000, $5,000, that tells you that we are seeing massive participation of buying coming in. Those are your signs. Those are your indications. And again, we need to see utilization of these cryptocurrencies. We need to see mass adoption. People need to find trust in these cryptocurrencies. And right now, it is not swaying that direction because people still have trust in fiat currencies. They still have trust in their government, and they still have trust that everything is going to go according to plan. People still trust central government. People still trust central control. Until the masses of people turns off that central control, Bitcoin will be just a outlier into the market. But it's going to be a very powerful switch once that occurs. So definitely you have to be prepared in the market for Bitcoin once that happens. So Nicholas Merton goes on to say that the second reason is because of analysis of market dynamics. Now that is so broad and open. You can speak on many variables as to what does that mean, market dynamics. Maybe he's talking about supply and demand. Maybe he's talking about people who are selling their Bitcoin is greater than the people who are trying to buy it. Who knows? He would have to explain that a little bit deeper. So this is the article. We have given you our opinion as to what we see and if Bitcoin can really hit $100,000 and what it would take to allow that to happen. And now we're going to go ahead and get into our price forecast in the market for Bitcoin. I want to remind you that the last time we did our video in Bitcoin was on the 12th of December, and we kept the market in Bitcoin. We kept our original analysis the same with expectation in Bitcoin moving higher. And overall, we've been emphasizing that the market in Bitcoin is just merely consolidating, and that range is between $7,800 all the way down to 68, or maybe I think I said 7,000. And we're still holding that area for support in the market in Bitcoin at $7,000. So even though you can tell that the market in Bitcoin is going against our trajectory of it moving higher, we're going to continue to hold that forecast in Bitcoin moving higher. Okay, this confirmation of Bitcoin holding $7,000 is the reason why we're going to continue to allow our forecast to play out. Now, let me emphasize this to you though. Okay, the long-term view in Bitcoin is still weak. That is it. Okay, from a daily perspective, even to our hourly time frames, the reason why we're going to keep our price forecast the same. But once we switch over to a weekly to a monthly price chart, the weakness is definitely dominating this space in Bitcoin. So I'm not bullish at all in Bitcoin from a weekly to a monthly perspective. It will change from a daily standpoint though. If I see strength coming in every day in this upcoming work week, would definitely alter our long-term view from a weekly to monthly perspective. But as of right now, Bitcoin definitely is a sell on a weekly price chart, even on the monthly time frame as well. Okay, so I just want to make sure I clarify that for each and every one of you, that we're just looking for the market in Bitcoin to move higher from a daily to an hourly standpoint rather than from a weekly and monthly. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go ahead and keep this price target ongoing. I would like to TP the market just at this break even at 72.50. If we see more weakness come in as Bitcoin tries to push higher, I might even take a loss around like $7,200 level in the forecast and just move on to the next trade. Okay, so this is it. This is our new expectations into the market in Bitcoin. Definitely would like to hear your opinions about what would cause Bitcoin to go to $100,000. Make sure you always maintain your profitability, and I will see you on the next one.